feel like I have to start at the end in the last episode
Yeah.
because it just, it's on brand. We have to talk about it. The coming out scene, I was shocked. I was not expecting to get that in that moment. I mean, like, what do you mean we get a whole coming out scene like in the midst of a battle? So I want to ask about like timing and placement. Like what was it like deciding in that moment like where this should fit in the larger narrative?
We knew Will was going to have this coming out scene, and originally it was going to be at the end of season 4. And it just, when we got there, it just felt like we hadn't earned it in a way. And I'm really glad we ended up not doing it there. So we replaced that with the scene where he's talking to his brother at the end of season 4. But anyway, but I'm really glad we didn't, because we've sort of oriented so much of season 5 around Will and his character growth. So you see him get halfway there at the end of 4, which allows him to sort of tap into these powers where that's more about self-acceptance, right? But then there's this one other hurdle, which, Vecna sort of represents all the fears and anxiety and everything that swirls, all the dark things that swirl around inside your head. It's still able to exploit those fears inside Will, and ultimately, in order to defeat or overcome this evil, he has to get over that. And in order to get over that, he needs to come out to not just his mom, but his friends. And so that's why we put it there right at the end, because that's sort of so much so important in terms of their battle and what lies ahead.
And so I think if we defeat Vecna, it will be because Will came out of the closet.
You need Will, and you need his full powers.
And he wouldn't. I mean, that's not wrong. What you said, that is correct. Yeah.
Right? Because like the conversations he has with Robin, I was so excited about seeing the two gays on screen together. Like dream come true. But their dynamic is so beautiful. Like I think that's the first time I saw Will laugh. Like I don't know.
Right.
If I'd seen that.
Yeah, poor Will's been so traumatized, but I think finally to be able to really open up to someone else, and in this case, sort of a mentor who had been through some similar experiences that he had, it really is very freeing. So yes, Robin obviously was a key aspect.
Well, he's able to share a part of himself that he simply hasn't been able to with anybody else. And then Robin, because she is able to identify with him in a way that no one else can, because she's been through what he's been through. I mean, different. Their stories are different growing up, but she has struggled with so many of the same struggles that he has. So she's able to take his hand and help him. And she didn't have that, so she's able to provide something for him. And that allows him to tap into this incredible potential that he's had all along. So, I mean, that's always what we're trying to do with the show, because it does have sort of this spectacle and these fantastical elements, but we always want to do our best to, collapse that or tie it into character growth.
And just going back to that scene one more time with Will, was there any time that you kind of talked to Noah about what this scene should look like to make sure it was authentic and what you really wanted to bring to this story?
Absolutely. And also obviously we've been with Noah, for 10 years now. So a lot of it was just hearing him talk about his own personal experiences, and then trying to go, obviously we're tailoring it to the story and to Will, but really trying to tap into something truthful. And I think we're nervous about putting it out in the world, but we're mostly just nervous about when we sent it to Noah, because we just wanted to do right by him, and we wanted him to feel that it was truthful. And luckily he responded to it, and then obviously delivered a beautiful performance.
Yeah. It was gorgeous, so emotional. Really, like I was bawling.
I know it was emotional on the day, but then and that was mostly the first take that we used. I said the one thing we did on the day, I really wanted to stay out of Noah's way. I just said, "What order do you want to do this in?" And he said, So I let him pick the order of the shots, and he said, just start with the wides, so I can kind of warm up into it, and then let's move right into the close-up. Because he was so amped up, he's like, let's just get it done. And so we did the wide, he warmed up, we moved in for the close-up, and take one, he wasn't acting at a certain point, right? It felt so raw, real, and so vulnerable. We're just glad that nothing went wrong with the cameras, frankly. I was like, did we get that? And we got it.
It was all in focus. Yeah.
It was all in focus. There was no bump on the dolly. It was absolutely perfect. But then Noah had to perform the scene the rest of the day. I mean, he did it. He went, Noah's such a kind actor, and he went 100% all day for even when he was off camera, which I think we got so many amazing reaction shots from the cast, like Charlie's performance. I mean, it's no dialogue, but it just breaks your heart watching him see his brother come out.